Hey, this is Matt Ganzak, and in this video, we are going over the AI software blueprint, creating prototypes in days, not months, leveraging AI. First, a little disclaimer we have to get out of the way. Just by watching this video, you are not guaranteed success. By implementing this training, you are not guaranteed success. Results are not always typical, and 9 out of 10 software ventures fail in the first 18 months, according to Forbes.com. Business is risky. Always consult your attorney and your accountant. All case studies are true to the best of my knowledge. Don't purchase anything from me if you cannot afford it. Starting a business is an investment and it takes time. Software is not a get-rich-quick scheme. Okay, it was all a dream. I won't do any impersonations or anything, but I built my first software platform in 2006. And it sucked. But I'm pretty sure it's still online today, exactly how I originally built it in 2006. So that must say something, right? I still think it sucked. Between 2008 and 2015, I worked for one of the top 100 most visited apps. Later on, like 2013, 2014, I think we dropped to like top 500. But when I got started in 2008, we built up to be one of the 100 most visited websites, which is insane, like millions and millions and millions and millions of visitors every single day. It was nuts. Since then, I've been launching new software platforms, and I never dreamt in my wildest dreams that AI would be writing software and writing code. It's absolutely insane. Today, you can get a software platform online in days, not months, and the time to strike is now, not tomorrow. The speed of which, if you're sitting on an idea right now, the speed of which people are moving on your ideas is insane. Like, I can have an idea in the morning. By lunch, I can have it all validated and smoke test and whatnot. And by the end of the day, I can have it live. People are using it. It's insane in a single day. It's nuts. So you need to get moving on this now. All of this starts with a problem. All too often, too many people think about way too many things. And the only thing that you need to focus on at the beginning steps of your software venture, SaaS, app, whatever you want to call it, is a problem. Solving a problem is essential to successful software businesses. Starting with the problem, you are solving. Period. End of story. Everything else is just trying to solve the problem, but focus on the problem. I cannot reiterate, like, people reach out to me, oh, I got this great idea. I secured the domain and I have the trademark pending and and we got to do this. We got to move on this. Well, what problem are you solving? Problem? I just have a great name. I bought a great domain. We should build a product around it. It's going to fail. That venture is going to fail. I can guarantee you, out of the 1 out of 10 businesses that succeed, they're focusing on the problem. Do not focus on making money. That is not a problem. Like, your bank account reading very little amount of money is not the problem. It is not the problem. The problem needs to be other people's bank accounts that have money that are willing to pay to solve a problem. That's how you solve things. Money comes after you solve the problem. You are paid in direct proportion to the difficulty of the problems you solve. That's Elon Musk. I would listen to that guy. He definitely knows what he's talking about. I wrote a book in 2016. I mentioned him several times. I've always, looked at the things that he's built and the problems that he's solved and the things that he's tried to tackle, regardless of what you think of him. I think that it's insane. I think it's insane. And I think that going forward in thinking like people like Elon Musk, or thinking like, Richard Branson, or thinking about things in the way that other people that have been very successful in solving problems, the way they think, that's the way we need to think. That's how we need to move. So let's solve a problem. We use ChatGPT o3 to research problems. ChatGPT o3 is the model that uses reasoning. Some of the other models that are out there are not using reasoning. And if you're watching this years down the road and they've updated, the key thing is We want the advanced reasoning. We want it to think. We just don't want it to read the internet and just spit things back out to us. We want it to read things on the internet, analyze it, use reasoning, and then give a response back. I just don't want things just spit out from the internet, right? So currently, as I'm making this video, ChatGPT 03 is the model that uses advanced reasoning. If you do not have a problem worth solving in your mind right now, use this prompt. Give me 10 businesses and industries that have huge problems that could be solved using AI, and they would be willing to pay for these solutions. So if you don't want just 10 businesses, you have a specific business that you want to work on, just replace 10 businesses with give me 10 problems that are worth solving in X business. So you can edit that prompt a little bit based upon what you have. But if you have no idea, you're starting at absolutely no idea, you just know that you want to be in the software business because it does have great margins, because you can have great exits and you can make good money from it. If you do things correctly and be part of that 10% of success, you can be successful with it. But the key thing is you need to ask it the right questions. So let's review these together. Okay, so I asked the question, give me 10 businesses and industries that have huge problems that could be solved using AI, and they would be willing to pay for those. So it thinks about it, and it's like below or 10 gap analysis targets. Number one, hospital revenue, right? Property and casualty insurers. I'm actually building software for, I've already built it. We're to market. We're valued at an 8-figure company already. And I literally did this one. And I did this one too. So this one's in development. But point is, like, this is exactly how I realize the opportunities that are out there. So go find them, go research. You know, you can respond, give me 10 more. Like, you can literally talk to this. It'll respond back. It'll be smart. It'll come up with ideas. It'll use some reasoning, come up with some ideas and so forth, drill down, have a whole conversation about it. And you're just drilling down and trying to find problems and solutions, and you can develop those solutions. So all too often, people look at, you know, what are the top 10 highest grossing software businesses? Make me, duplicate, I want to compete with MailChimp, for example. That's a terrible way of going about this. You are going to fail if you do that. Like, you have to look at problems that are out there that are not currently solved. If you're saying MailChimp is too expensive, I could build something that, is far less expensive and people will switch from MailChimp to me. They will not. They will not. They will not. Like, it's a total waste of time, and you're going to waste money. You're going to waste time. You're going to waste your resources. You're going to waste everything trying to just rebuild MailChimp. It's a total waste of time. Or the other idea is, well, I use this app for this, and I use this app for this, and I use this app for this. That should all be in one. Again, terrible idea. It's a terrible idea because you not only said you want to recreate one app, but you want to recreate 3, 4, 5 different apps, all the features that are in all these different apps and consolidate it into one. So companies are paying for, product A, product B, product C, product D, and it's all integrated, it's all working, and, they're using it. Why would you try to compete with 4 different products? That's like you going and fighting 4 different fights at the same time. It's a terrible idea. It's a terrible waste of time. So the point is, use this and validate the idea, come up with what it is that you're solving, the problem you're solving, and then from there, like, look at this thing. Like, it's thinking. It's coming up with all these different ideas. Here's some things. Here's some things you can do. And here's why they'll pay for it. So use this. Brainstorm. Like, instead of just scrolling on Instagram or YouTube or wherever, TikTok, you're scrolling, open up ChatGPT, download it on your phone, switch over to the O3 model, and ask it questions. Just talk to it. In the middle of the night, when I can't fall asleep. I'll just open ChatGPT and just brainstorm and just come up with ideas. And this is the best use of time when you have downtime. It's not scrolling through your, feed just mindless. It's brainstorming. It's coming up with ideas. It's thinking about things. It's, challenging. So you could take one of these ideas, like this idea, and you could challenge ChatGPT. Like, I don't think that this really is that big of an opportunity. Please explain that opportunity scale to me a little bit more so I better understand it. And it can drill down and then you can argue with it. Like, this is the best thing. And then you could say, long haul trucking fleets and 3PLs. I want to take this on, but tell me all the reasons why this is a bad idea. And it'll tell you. What are the biggest challenges that I'm going to face when trying to, take this on? What are some of the big challenges I'm going to face here? What are some of the big challenges I'm going to face here? Like, ask it questions, right? So oftentimes in looking at these, you don't have a ton of people to sell to, right? But if they all have this problem that you're trying to solve and they're willing to pay for it, and they're willing, the problem costs them a lot of money, they might be willing to pay a lot of money for the service. So instead of having, one or two, people signing up per day at $30 a month, you could have one signing up every quarter and they're paying you $500,000 to $1 million a year per client, per deal. Really makes a difference, as you can see here. Okay, so next, you have an idea, like you've done your research. Let's just fast forward and say you've done all this research and you feel really good about something. What is a good next step? If you do not want to go at this alone, partner with somebody who is an expert in that field. Somebody that maybe works in the field, somebody that has the problem, maybe a company that's willing to pay for the software development and then want to partner on selling it to their competitors. Whatever, be creative, come up with ideas. And also another idea is perhaps to attract partners, you could create content talking about solutions and talking about how you can create solutions, that you can create apps in days, not months. You could create content, put it out there and make a call to action. Like, if you're having a problem in your current business and you want to solve it with tech, message me and let's talk about how we can solve problems together. So if you don't want to go at this alone, then that's fine. If you do want to go at this alone, then do it. That's fine too. But I found that partnering in ventures, like I said, I have a doctor, we're building hospital software. I have a restaurant owner, we're building restaurant software. I have a sales professional, we're building sales software. When you partner with people that are already in the field, that already have the problem, that already have people to sell to and have the capital to put up to do it, it really brings that capital, knowledge, and connections all to the table, which can really fast forward your venture, and the successes of your venture is directly tied to those three assets. So otherwise, you're looking for the capital yourself, you're looking for the knowledge yourself, and you're looking for the connections yourself. So I like partnering with people, but again, it's totally up to you. I like asking experts what their problems are facing and brainstorming ideas. So if you are going at this alone, you can always do that and gain knowledge and capital and so forth, maybe give them some equity in the deal. Structure a deal, make it make sense, but know these three assets, capital, knowledge, and connections, are essential to having a successful software business. Again, use ChatGPT o3 to come up with solutions to these problems. So we go in there, we focus on the problem, solution, the avatar, and the TAM. So we're going to talk about each one of those. We're going to break those all down. First, ideal customer profile, ICP. Don't try to reach everyone with what it is that you're doing. Focus on a core customer needs. For example, like I said, we're building software for salespeople. We niched down. We didn't say, every salesperson in the world, there are 5 million salespeople in the United States alone, and every single one could use our software. No, we niched down. We say, what is your direct need? He tells me. And I said, okay, what do we need to build in order to make this successful for you? Now, who else has the specific problems that you have that would be willing to pay for this that is kind of similar to what you're doing? So we picked two other verticals that are so similar that the app doesn't need to change. It can be one app. It doesn't change. We don't have like complex features to try to reach every salesperson. We're focusing on people that do high ticket sales. So we niche down to people that do high ticket sales, period. End of story, right? Find out what they are doing now to solve their problem. So go do some research on those people. Ask them questions like, hey, what do you use now to solve XYZ problem? So now you kind of know what your problem is. You kind of know who your customer is. Interview a few other people in that market and ask them the question, what are you doing to solve this problem now? Then do some research on those competitors and ask them, hey, are you using X software, X software, X software? No, I'm not. Okay, why don't you use XYZ software for this problem? Is it cost? Is it ease of use? Is it lack of features? Or did you just not know about that other software? If you didn't know about it, then the problem might not be big enough to search for a solution in order to solve that problem. So therefore, the problem might not actually be big enough than what it is that you're making it out to be in your mind. So this is such an essential slide in this entire process, and by far one of the most overlooked slides. So maybe you thought about the problem, you thought about the solution, and then you go right to development. You go right to, hey, I need to hire somebody, we need to start working, and blah, 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 skipping all these essential steps along the way. But this one slide could have saved you months, allowed you to pivot to a different idea. And in those 3 months that you're struggling to build something that no one wants, you could otherwise be working on something that people do want, that you're solving a problem, gets you closer to money faster, closer to revenue faster, and really closes the gap on what it takes to be successful in software, right? So if these answers tell you what you need to know, and if it's successful, you should build the solution. So answer those questions, period. End of story. If you're not interviewing people, if you're not willing to interview people, you shouldn't get in the software business, because you need to understand if the problem is actually worth solving. Do that first. TAM, SAM, SOM. What does it mean? Why is it important? Why should you care? Total addressable market. That's TAM. So, like I said, 5 million salespeople in the United States. I don't know how many salespeople there are. 20 million salespeople coming out of the womb selling something. Like, I don't know, but that's total addressable market. So take your ICP and put it into ChatGPT and ask what the total addressable market for a problem that you're solving to an ICP. What is a total addressable market? Next one is serviceable addressable market. Like, if they're already paying for something, total is everybody. And then serviceable is they're paying for your competitors. And then your share of the market is the smallest number. So if we say 100% is total, serviceable is maybe 30%, 40% that are paying for something else. And share of the market, maybe you can capture a fraction of a percent of that marketplace. And that would be your share of market. Make sense? Again, ChatGPT 03 breaks all this down for you. And then from there, you can plug in what people would be willing to pay for it. You can start building out some financial models of what you could potentially do in your share of the market share. You can tell ChatGPT 03 to be aggressive. You can tell it to be conservative. You can tell it to give you low-end numbers. You can tell it whatever you want to create your projections, but you could basically build projections based upon TAM, SAM, and SOM. Cool? All right. So what somebody is willing to pay for an app. Interview people and say, if I solve this problem, would you be willing to pay X? Is that worth it to you? And you need to understand that. What is the value that you're bringing with the solution? Again, we have software for hospitals, and some of our tickets are quite high, in the millions. But the problem that we're solving is well beyond what it is that we are offering. In some cases, we actually built a return on investment calculator on our website. And in some cases, some of the people that we've gotten started with have 600% ROI, even at spending millions of dollars using our software. So take that in consideration. See if people are willing to pay for the solution, build a landing page, get people willing to pay for it, validate your idea before you start building your idea. So not only do we interview people, but I'll actually put up a landing page and validate to see if people would actually pay for it, either getting them to opt in for a wait list or actually pay for something and call it a pre-sale product, or just refund them and say, hey, it's not ready yet. I'll let you know when it is. All this is covered in great detail in our ideation course at mattganzek.com, by the way. So I go through this, every single one of these slides is an entire video with additional insights and steps and walkthroughs and so forth. This would be a 8-hour video if I just record this all together. So everything's over in mattganzek.com. You can go check it out. Building your prototype in days, not months. Once you build out your entire plan, put this into ChatGPT 03. You are an expert developer. Build me a plan on how to create a prototype that solves, fill in the blank, for ICP, fill in the blank, using Replit. I love Replit. I've been very successful with it. I've used like 8 different AI building apps, and I think Replit is putting out the best results personally. So that's the one I'm using, but I put it in quotations. If you use something else, you use something else, whatever. Use the same format. If you are an expert developer, build me a plan of how to create a prototype that solves problem for ICP using platform in days, not months. That's key, because the first thing it's going to build out for you is some 6 to 12 month plan. But then you say in days, not months, then it starts really bringing down to get a prototype online, and it starts refining that plan. From there, you can further refine the plan by responding back and saying, hey, that's not quite the feature that I had in mind. That's not quite the thing that I had in mind. Add this, take that away, do this, do that. Have a conversation with ChatGPT back and forth to really refine that plan. Once you have your plan together, use ChatGPT 03 and put this in. Using the plan above, or you can copy and paste the plan in, whatever. Using the plan above, build me a Replit, or whichever platform you're using, a Replit prompt to start the development of this app to build the prototype in days, not months. Again, I tell it really fast. I'm not trying to be overcomplicated with this. It could find opportunities to not necessarily shortcut, but kind of omit some features like, hey, maybe we shouldn't do this piece yet just for the prototype, or hey, maybe we should use a third-party connection for this instead of doing it this way. It's a great way to make ChatGPT reason and come up with faster prototype delivery. So that's a really key essential here. Okay, prompting in Replit. After you add the prompt into Replit, it will start building the prototype, and this is free to get started. I think I pay like $50, $75 a month now, whatever I'm paying them. But I've built so many different things, and we're hosting and whatever, doing so many things through the platform. But getting started, it's free. There could be some errors on screen as it starts kicking it out. When they come up, just copy the error, feed it right back into Replit. After an hour or so, you should have an app that you can click through and you can start messing with and you can drill down. But if errors are persistent, go back to ChatGPT 03, take the error, put it in there, and ask ChatGPT 03 for how to fix that bug in Replit, and it'll give you a better prompt to respond back to Replit. So really smart thing. I'll take you through one of my Replit builds. Let's do it. Okay, so this is one of my Replit builds, and I pasted in to get started exactly what came from ChatGPT 03. It said exactly what it is that I'm building. It gives this full kick out, and I just copied and pasted it directly in. No editing at all. It just totally just kicked it out. So it started thinking, and let's look at the timestamps. So 10:06 a.m. on April 21st, I started working on it. So it's kicking it out, and it builds this thing, and it looks terrible, but it's a website, right? And that took how long? That took, what was it, 06? So it took 20 minutes, less than 20 minutes, like 15 minutes, whatever it is. And then I was like, hey, here's my logo, here's my contact information, here's, my social media information. Go ahead and update that. So I just gave it back and it updates some things going through. When the logo is on a dark background, use this version. Okay, updated. Also, it started looking a little bit better because I prompted it to, what was that prompt? Design the landing page to look more like $1 billion software company. So it took that literally and it said, developing $1 billion technology. That's really not what I wanted to say, but whatever. Let's just keep going. The header starts scrolling down. It needs to use dark, etc. Just kind of giving it some natural, verbiage. Remove the section where projects launched. Partner with industry leaders. Go ahead and add those. So yeah, point is just flowing through this thing. Just, talking to it, asking questions, talking. It's 11:11. It's been 1 hour. I mean, I got something pretty decent. I mean, I could literally go live with something like this, but I want to refine it a little bit more. I keep going. Now it looks good. Let's work on the dashboard, etc. So it starts kicking out some more things for me. And we just go and go. And, it creates a login, authentication, and it just keeps going down. We just keep, so error on dashboard page, runtime, whatever, it starts fixing it. So yeah, just scrolling down, it's just going through it. 108. So it started at 10:06. It's 108. I probably took a break for lunch. I don't know what I was doing. Like probably took a couple phone calls, let it kind of run, do something else, multitask, etc. So now I'm drilling down a little bit further. Like this needs to do this needs to do that. And I'm just feeding in the URLs to tell it what it needs to do. It's starting to create some pages here. So that's inside a membership area. And really what this app does, it allows people to go to the app and kind of validate your idea, kind of talk about your idea, talk about what you're trying to solve. And then you can literally connect with my developers. They'll help you answer questions, move along the process, etc. If you want to hire us to do something that's kind of complicated, you can hire us right inside the app. We'll work for hourly rate in order to deliver the results, etc. So I wanted to have an app, an easy way that I can manage all my projects all from one place. So the problem I was solving, all my communication is so disjointed for my business. I need to have a single place where I can do all of my work and have my developers communicate and me communicate, and we can work through and develop projects very easily. A really easy onboarding process for new business. And I needed something complex but simple. And that was essentially what it is that Replit built for me, was an app that is really simple to manage projects and get things moving along and have a nice onboarding wizard and all those other things. So yeah, fixing a login page, fixing more things. Let's see where we're at. 7:28. So at this point, go and pick my kids up, come home, make dinner, get back on, prompt it a couple more times. There's probably a bedtime in here. Probably put them to bed, and then working on a little bit more. Started working on confetti. I don't know why I was working on confetti, but 9:32. So I started at 10:06 and I deployed the app at 9:32. So that's less than 12 hours. I had an app ready to go live that solved a huge problem for me, and it looks great. It's awesome. What could have been developed for this in 12 hours? I put the video placeholder there, but literally 12 hours built something that was a serious problem for me. I was able to build this in hours, not weeks, not months, hours. It's absolutely insane. So I love this app. I love building web apps with this app. It doesn't really make native iOS apps, but you could still build your prototype on a web base and then give it over to a developer to then turn it into a React iOS app if you want an app to be delivered on phones. But point is, prototype here, easy. Took me less than 12 hours. Prototype done. period. People could be signing up less than 12 hours later. So let's hop back to the slides. Okay, so you have your prototype built. Again, took less than 12 hours to build that app. If everything is working, you could publish it right through Replit. If you need assistance with deploying, you can contact me, message me, whatever, let's talk about it, or go hire somebody on Upwork. Get the bugs all sorted out, get your security all buttoned up, and then get a few beta testers on board, test the prototype, fix the bugs as they start sharing those bugs with you. Then you can start improving the UI, which is called user interface. That's basically the design and so forth, and the user experience. Like, hey, when I click on this, it should go to a wizard and not go to, some long form. It should be a step-by-step wizard. Whatever bugs or ideas they bring you, you could kind of take that and just kind of plan out how to fix that. Now you have a working prototype. It's live. You could literally have something that people are using and they're giving you feedback on. Congratulations. I mean, you're pre-revenue, but you're in business and it could be a couple hours. Sales commitments. This is the next big step. Again, this is something that I don't see people too often doing, but it's so essential. So at this point, your app might not have billing integration, like the one I showed you. Did no billing integration. Okay, that's fine. Get written commitments, non-binding agreements from companies, people that would be willing to use that technology either in their business, if you're deploying a white label solution, or if it's a, billing type thing that, they would pay for access to the software. Then get commitments. If I built this out in the next 6 months, would you be willing to pay for it? Yes or no? Be transparent with those timelines and go to live in production, and try to get at least 100,000 to 200,000 in annual recurring revenue commitments. It's a pretty big job to do that. But like I said, if you're solving big enough problems with your technology, you should be able to get that from just a couple clients for them to say, yeah, if you could solve this, I would go ahead and pay for it because my problem is worth far more than $50,000 or $100,000 a year. My problem is worth $500,000 a year, and time and money and all those things. And then all your other features become those ancillary benefits that you're adding in. Take those commitments and then let's go raise some capital. That's it. So how fast can this happen? How fast can you get through this? So example, a friend of mine, sales guy, says, hey, come have coffee with me. It was a Friday morning. I had coffee with him and he pitched me his idea and I was like, wow, that's insane. I came home, did the research on ChatGPT, and I was like, I'm building this. This is awesome. I'm building it. So literally I had the prototype by that night, coffee in the morning, prototype at night. I had it on sales professionals' phones that weekend. I send it over to him. He starts using it. All these sales pros start using it. And then they start saying, hey, if this could connect to my CRM and then call things up from my CRM, that would be amazing. Could you do that? Yeah, cool. Yeah, I can do that. It's a great idea, right? So we start working through the features and working through the things of which they start asking for. And then we start getting some commitments and we're raising capital on a $10 million valuation. That's it. Raising capital. Ask ChatGPT 03 what a fair market valuation would be for your product. Again, total addressable market, what people are willing to pay for it. Feed it in that information if it doesn't already have it, and let it base your valuation based upon also those commitment letters that you have. Again, before taking any next steps in raising capital or anything like that, consult your attorney before taking these next steps. Just to give you an understanding of what the next steps are, not to say that you should circumnavigate your attorney. You should always talk to your attorney about raising capital. There's so many, different nuances of raising capital that need to be handled by an attorney, and I am not an attorney, so therefore I cannot give you legal advice. However, the best legal advice I can give you is consult an attorney who is authorized and accredited and has all those things to give you legal advice. Cool. Do that. But for knowledge purposes, it would be a safe round. That is a great way to proceed forward. So you can ask your attorney what a safe note is It is a simple agreement for future equity. That's what SAFE stands for. Do some research yourself, ask ChatGPT, whatever. Ask your attorney if you should offer discounts on future rounds. Talk about it. Talk to ChatGPT, talk to your attorney, figure it out. So I like using ChatGPT to research, and you can research what a safe note is to see if it would be a good solution for you to raise money on a safe note. However, I can tell you that a lot of investors do like safe notes, and you can look into that. Again, consult an attorney. I don't know how many times I need to say that. You need to talk to an attorney when you're raising money, period. So, use of funds. Take the capital that you raise, build the prototype. Say 3 months to market, $50,000, a little less than $50,000, maybe a little bit more than $50,000 if it's got real complex features or security or things like that that need to be developed, or multi application like iOS app, Android app, web app, desktop app. If you have to have all those things, you can basically add $10,000 to $15,000 per integration that you need to add, so you can kind of plan those features and plan what needs to be built based upon that model. Again, you can take that, put it into ChatGPT 03 and say, hey, if I raise $50,000, what would be the best use of money to get this product closer to market, right? So we use that a lot. Use the rest of the capital that you have left over. So say you raise $250,000, $50,000 of that goes towards building out the product. The other $200,000 should go towards paid ads or other marketing, influencer content, things like that. You should be creating marketing materials. Again, I cover all this in great detail in our course. That is inside the AI course. The prototype is in the prototype course, but this is in the AI marketing course. I go through this in great detail at mattganzak.com. You can hop on there. Drive clicks to high converting pages for demos or orders. So if the order is, say, less than $50 per month, you can just drive them right to an order page. They can sign up and pay for it right there. If it's an expensive software, you might want to do demos and do that. Start scaling your ads. Move over to a priced valuation round. Again, consult your attorney about fundraising and all of that. But once you do have paying customers and it starts scaling, it's time to do another capital raise on a valued round. So say you raise $250,000 on a $10 million valuation, then you can move into, depending on the valuation of the company, use a fair valuation based upon your forecasts and all your models. Let's say it's a $50 million valuation at a priced round. Then you can raise some additional money from VCs or private equity, or people that are in the industry, experts in the industry, or people that people network through people, talk to me. We can talk about things. But point is, you move very, very quickly with this plan, and you can move quickly. But again, it all goes back to, is the problem you're solving worth solving? Is the target avatar the right target avatar? Are you putting these pieces together? Do you have a good total addressable market and a serviceable addressable market and your share of market? Like, are those numbers right? Like, all of these pieces come into play, and it might make sense to have a mentor, somebody like me, to help you. But point is, all these pieces do come into play to make sure that you are on track to building something correctly. You can use ChatGPT 03 for some of this reasoning, but perhaps a mentor, definitely an attorney, but would help you move a little bit quicker. So yeah, once you get the price round, hire, scale your venture, and then prepare for an exit in 3 to 5 years. Boom, done. That's it. Rinse and repeat. Do it again. Do it again and again and again and again. Do it so many times. It's so much fun. After I had my first exit, I was like, wow, I should just have 10 exits a year, right? But I need 10 great businesses. I mean, I have 5 right now, 5 ventures that we're ramping up and taking to exit in the next 3 to 5 years. But yeah, really, once you get it down, this is how wealth is built, is when you do something well one time, go and do it again and again and again and again. The first one's going to be the hardest. They get easier the further you go. So I'm a couple exits in, it's getting easier for me. And now with AI, it's creating prototypes like having breakfast or having coffee in the morning, having a nap by the time dinner rolls around. It's insane. So there is so much here that I did not have time for. Sign up at mattganzak.com for the full course. You'll get the ideation, the prototype building, the marketing, and then also my workshops where I walk through step by step, kind of like I did on the one page that we did, but we do step by step. And we have events coming up. We have a ton of great things. So if you're serious about building software, you really do need a mentor, somebody that's already had exits, somebody that's already done these things that can help move you along. And I will help you to validate your ideas, plan your software build, and your go-to-market strategy inside of there. All students receive discounts on live events that we have coming up and our hourly dev work. You'll get discounts on those as well. And I will open my Rolodex for you as needed. And you can sign up today and we'll go deep into each step of this blueprint and really build this out for you to have a great business that you can build and scale and feel really good about. Jump over at mattganzak.com, sign up for the full program. You get a discount signing up for the full program, and it's a one-time fee, and keep updating it. And also, we'll do all sorts of good stuff. So, I mean, even if you want to hop on a quick call with me, like we can do that. But, my time is pretty scarce with running several companies, but I want to help people. I want to help move you along. I want to look for new great ideas that people are doing. And we might have good synergy with some of my projects, your projects, and let's see what we do. I want to build great things and help good people build great things and solve big problems. So that's my objective. Jump on mattganzak.com. Hopefully you found this helpful to, bring some ideas and bring some things forward. Hopefully it give you some ways to get started even before signing up. And once you do sign up, we're really going to dive in and do some amazing things together. So look forward to seeing you in there, and let's go. Let's build it. Let's make it happen. All right. See you on the next video.